everyone, and welcome back to another video by yours truly. It is Erica. And today I am going to be making two cards with this gorgeous sunflower stamp from Picket Studios. It's called Face the Sun. On this panel that I've got in front of me now, I have stamped the image first with the black hybrid ink. And then on top of that, I have stamped again with a wow embossing pad and sprinkled clear embossing powder on top of this. And then I've heat set that and taped it down to an old die cutting board. And then I have gotten my Zig clean color markers out, and these are the ones I'm going to be coloring the entire image with. This first bit is going to be all in complete sort of real time, and then we're going to speed the rest up and to kind of, you know, speed the whole thing along, because otherwise we will be here for a very, very long time. And so far I'm only allowed to upload 15-minute videos, so there is that as well. But here you can see that I've gone in with one of my darker colors first, and then I've gone in with a light color. And I also have a little piece of kitchen roll where I wipe off the tip of the marker in between, because it does pick up the darker color. So if you are going from a dark to a lighter to a lighter to a lighter, you're going to want to clean off that tip every now and again, just to make sure that you're not dragging in too much of the dark color, especially on the bits where you want highlights and, you know, different colors for contrast. So I'm going in again with the darker color, as you can see, and I'm not sort of thought overly much about where to put shadows and highlights and stuff. I'm just kind of playing along, having a good time, and, you know, partying like it's Friday, Erica style. And you might hear my little chicas making a cameo appearance because they are utterly outraged for some reason today. Now we are going to speed this up, but I hope you will still kind of catch all the coloring. What I probably should have done is actually zoomed in a little bit in the beginning so that you, yeah, they are utterly outraged today. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, those little beasties, they throw me off sometimes. Yes, coloring. Do it, it's fun. And yeah, I am a big fan. Okay, I'm gonna try to get my head back in the game here now and ignore those little stroppy divas downstairs. So as I said, I will start by going in with a one of my darkest colors, and then I will go lighter and lighter, and then I will go back in with sometimes even a darker color, this one that you just see me grab now, and just add a little bit of extra contrast, and then kind of not start again, but just blend in that color. And even though this is not done in like real time, so you can't see exactly how I do it, you kind of get the gist of it. So coloring for me is not just all done in one fell swoop. It is always like it's a process. And as I said, I don't always have a plan. I just kind of I'm very much a color as I feel it kind of girl. You know, I'm sure there's a few of you that kind of recognize that part as well. But we are just about to hop into the last bit, so you will see kind of how the rest of the flower will come to life. And I am actually, although this is super fast, I'm a big fan of time lapses where you can see both the process and the stages of the coloring, as well as the final results. Because, I mean, it would be nice if we all had like 20 hours a day, like spare, that didn't dip into our actual hours of the day to just sit and watch videos and, you know, learn about this stuff. But the reality is that we don't, so we have to speed this up. And here it is, completely finished and colored. And then what I have done is I've taken my Kansai Tambi Starry colors out, and I've splattered some gold over it, because why not? You know, it just adds a little bit of extra like interest to a panel without having to add too much else. And then I have grabbed my fancy stamp scrubber here. This is also from Picket Studios. And I only ever use water on this. I would use a little bit of soap every now and again to clean it out, but it does really get such a good result. And I am a big convert And then this is my old, like super old kitchen towel. So I just go in with a stamp scrubber, get into all the nooks and crannies, and then wipe it off. And then I will have a look, and then I'll probably go in again, because I'm one of those weird people that I like my stamps really, really clean. And although my husband would have a complete conniption if I ever did this, but if I could, I would have one set that I use and one set that I just ooh and ah over. I know, completely bonkers, I know. Anyway, so as you can see, I've gone in and out just to kind of clean this up, because there are a lot of nooks and crannies on this stamp set, because it is such a beautiful one. And what I've done here is I put it on top of my MISTI, so you can see just how clean it gets. And then to finish this off, I've just stamped one of the stamp set, or the sentiments from the stamp set, with black hybrid ink pad in the corner there. And I probably should have kind of gauged where I was going to put my sentiment before I stamped up my flower, but I was awfully pleased with myself anyway. And this next card is also using the same stamp set. However, with this one, I am using colored cardstock, and I'm placing this into my MISTI, and then I am just going to stamp the image in black ink right on top of it. Just no coloring or anything like that, but because of the colored cardstock, it kind of feels like it's already got color, if that makes sense. And lots of fiffing and faffing about going on here to get it just in the right spot. And then don't do what I did though, because although it doesn't show in the video, I managed to get black ink on my lid, and because the top end of my cardstock was not protected, I ended up with a black smudge on the back of it. Yeah, you can see, actually, there you go, you can see it now. Although I think I'm skipping over this part, so yeah. Because I did stamp up this another time or two, just to make sure I had a really, really solid imprint. And then this time we are going to stamp the sentiment first. And to finish this card off, we are just going to be adding a little bit of details with enamel accents, I think they're called. So I've used yellow and black, and the only reason I've done this is to kind of just give it a little bit of texture and dimension, but without adding any coloring whatsoever. It's kind of a fun little way of making really quick cards that you can just kind of basically throw out there really, really fast. Although you will need to let the glossy enamel, not glossy accents, the enamel accents dry. If you don't want to do as many as I do, of course, you don't have to, because I do tend to go to town. And you will see, here we go, I've gone, the reason I've done this is because there are lots of like little black dots on the flowers, and I thought, well, this could be kind of like a fun way to just sort of bring in some texture and dimension and a spot of color, but without doing any coloring. I hope this makes sense, because it kind of makes a whole lot of sense in my head as I was thinking it out. And then on the petals, I've added lots and lots of much smaller yellow drops. Again, just to kind of just give it some texture. When you run your finger over it, it will feel really, really nice. Just make sure that you leave this to dry until it's very, very, very dry before you send it. There we go, the last few drops, and then this card, apart from the drying, of course, it's all done. Pretty neat, huh? And no coloring. So one is like super bright and happy, and I do love how this one turned out. And then the other one is like super simple and quick. And of course, if you don't want to wait for it to dry, just skip over those enamel accents and maybe use some already made ones. Well, thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found some inspiration. I will list all the projects I've used down below with affiliate links. Thank you so much again for watching. See you soon.